Good evening and welcome to Fireside Cast's coverage of RGL 6's Season 19. Tonight we have an amateur semifinals match between Green Goblin Gang, the second seeded team, and Great Players Reunited, the third place team. The third seeded team, but excuse me. I'm M17, joined by deltamarket with Resin on production. And deltamarket, I know you're not that familiar with AM, but have you seen any of these players by chance?
Some of them look a bit familiar, but I can't really place any of them. Do any of them stand out to you?
There's a few I've seen on the Great Players Reunited team who have a little bit of a lower level IM experience, and then I know that most of the Green Goblin Game team is the same team that got second last season in Newcomer. Well, not most of them, like half of them. And then there's a couple of other people like Verpluxus who've been in the scene for just a couple of seasons, but have been rising up because they've been, playing quite a bit. But speaking of, I guess we'll go over the rosters really quickly. For the side of Green Goblin Gang, the second seeded team, we have Divi on Pocket Scout, Zuri on Flank Scout, Verpluxus is on Pocket Soldier, F Loop is on Roamer, Smitty is on Demo, and Okie Dokie is on Medic.
On the side of Great Players Reunited, we have Kibo on Pocket Scout, Glide on Blank Scout, Desync on Roamer, Crippa on Pocket, Nash on Demo, and Twigs on Medic. And yeah, I think we're live M17.
Yeah, we already are. Map 1 is going to be Gullywash. I'm curious to see if we'll see anything crazy. Looks like both demos are going normal, although I think Nash is a little bit slower on this mid, but other than that, everything seems pretty standard for now. Big early bomb from Crippa already, but just fades back to his own side. Here comes the double soldier bomb from the side of Green Goblin Gang. They are able to get up some damage, but no kills so far. Desync is going to go down. It's now 5 versus 5, but players on Green Goblin Game are really low. As I say that, players on the side of Great Players Reunited low as well. Here comes a bomb from Verpluxus trying to get something out, but so many low players on both sides. They have to just keep backing up, get help from the team, and they're probably going to be refighting here shortly, though. Wow.
Yeah, looks like they are all the way in through Choke, but Smitty goes down to Glide and GPR. Nash finds this scout, so that's everyone going down. I think we're going to see even Ubers probably on last here, so the great players are going to have their work cut out for them. If they can break this hold, they're going to have a really great chance of setting the tone.
Yeah, and already Crippa in with a big bomb, does get some damage, but is not able to get the force onto Okie Dokie, who is safely tucked away. There's a gun going up for the side of Green Goblin Gang. There's a lot of aggressive pressure in here in the lobby area. Trade kill going on there between Verpluxus and Glide. And that's going to mean that there's going to be an attempted just sack attempt here shortly as we have Crippa onto Sniper. I don't know if we'll see any others off-class pick, but Crippa's already peeking in through the lower main door.
Yeah, he has line of sight on some people here, but hasn't been able to hit a headshot yet. Took some rockets, so good pressure coming out by the Green Goblins. They've been not letting that sniper quite find the medic, so they're going to have to keep that up. But we do have Divi going on to the counter sniper, so we're going to have the SVS coming up as we have another peek through main as our sniper here, Crippa, gets sights onto Divi and takes him down. So that's the SVS resoundingly going the way of Great Players Reunited. They're going to want to press that, rotating their sniper onto balcony here, onto launch pad, as you can say, trying to look through the scope, and he gets the headshot onto the medic. That's a drop, and look at the point pressure. The Great Players are just going to be taking an Uber in through the shutter, taking the sentry gun down, running down Zuri. This scout cannot be stopped, but the players, they're respawning, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Only 2 up, 1 HP. Smittybug gets taken down. This point cap has taken quite a lot longer than I thought, and that was really close there, but Great Players Reunited were not to be denied off of that medic drop.
That was a huge play there. Glide and Desync went in through water and got so much cap time that it drew multiple players on the side of Green Goblin Gang out of their positions and allowed Crippa to get a nice snipe headshot onto the medic. Very crucial play there, as we're already going into the second mid, and last mid was a pretty long one, so I wonder if we'll see anything crazy like that. Looks like it's going to slow down for now, although actually Glide runs up very quickly and kills Smittybug, so that's going to probably be, oh my goodness, Nash with a massive pipe up to F-loop there, and that's a quick mid win for the side of Great Players United. But this is Green Goblin Gang's map pick.
Yeah, it is their map pick, and they're not winning it, so that's a little concerning. Oh, double sticky kill onto Divi and Okie Dokie. That is absolutely immense for Nash. He is stepping up here. Full ad again. It's like we're watching history repeat itself, except this time it's the demo, not the sniper. We're going to have Uber in through Shutter on the demo and Scout combo for Great Players Reunited. Getting on the point, getting on the sentry gun. Point pressure not coming in yet because there are stickies up. Smittybugs doing a good job holding those, but they do go down. Desync, though, goes down. Traded out on point, but somehow the point is just capped in front of everyone. That's going to be Great Players Reunited taking it again.
Yeah, I think Green Goblin Gang just, their other soldier wasn't ready to stop point in time. I mean, Great Players Reunited went really fast, which might have been a little bit scary because the spawners came in, but I think they had enough time on cap earlier, which they keep getting they keep getting players in through river, or through water, which you really have to be careful of. You don't want to let them get so much cap line for free, or else it can be really hard to hold this last point, as F-Loop is going up the drop down this time, but a big bomb from Desync early gets Okie Dokie, but F-Loop is going to get multiple kills, and the frags are 4 versus 4 now, 2 scouts versus scout demo. Nice pipe from Nash, though, able to clean up the kill along with Kibo onto Divi. Now it's just Zuri who does get the kill onto Kibo, and it's just a 1 versus 1. Nash is 132 HP, so it is, oh, he's now very low. It's a super close battle, and Zuri does end up winning the 1v2. Nicely played by him.
That's crazy. He managed to pull that out against the Scout. 32 HP, I believe. That Scout he managed to frag was like 80 health at least. We have the players for Green Goblin fighting on point. They got here early, and so it looks like they're just going to take it. This soldier got trapped in. Krippa somehow manages to jump out. I thought he was stuck. Good job by him staying alive. Going to help his team hold this point. Didn't want to start that down one. Divi's going to be in the choke. It looks like the Green Goblin players want to try to do some early pressure, sending their soldier in, getting on to the soldiers, doing damage. Krippa down to 50 health again. Kibo gets taken down, so it looks like it's just a one-man sack, not finding the frag it wanted.
Yeah, and there's not really enough of an Uber advantage for there to be anything big. Nash takes a lot of damage in Big Door, and Glide actually goes down. That might prompt the pressure here from the side of, on the side of Green Goblin Gang. Although Desync tried to go up drop down and he was denied by Divi. He might get caught here. He is able to get his way out just in the nick of time. But they are down 1 on the side of Great Players Reunited, so they have to be very careful. There looks like the players on the side of Green Goblin Gang just aren't really in position. They are healthy for now, so they'll probably be sending some sort of sacking here shortly. So luckily for Great Players Reunited, they are able to get a stronger hold set up. But it was a little bit sketchy there for a second.
Yeah, it was, and we do have pressure coming in from Big Door by Green Goblin Gang. They set their soldier, Perplexus, in a little bit. Looks like now he's going to be committing to Baby Door as we have the demo going to block it into main, but Perplexus is jumping in, almost hitting an air shot onto the demo. Nash going to take him down. Demo v soldier, won by the soldier there.
Yeah, and a huge play already. Desync does get a kill onto Zuri in the choke, which is definitely a nice win, but Perplexus is still in behind, which is going to cause a lot of pressure. Although Krippa with a very nice push in and gets a lot of damage onto the demo, although Perplexus gets another kill, this time onto Glide. Perplexus is still alive. F-Loop has also worked his way in behind, and Twigs catches a pipe and actually gets forced early.
Yeah, we have Desync jumping in through Big Door, finding a lot of damage onto everyone here. Uber coming out for Okie Dokie as they run into Big Door with the Scout, taking down Desync, but on the backlands, Krippa took down Zuri. We have the fight going on in lobby as Kibo versus 2 scouts in a demo. Who can win this one? Divi down to 15 health, not going to be finding that frag. Kibo, 68 health, jumping around, doing so much. Glide finds 1 frag here. Kibo gets taken down by Smitty Bug as we have Krippa jump in, trade that one out. And I think it's going to be actually Great Players Reunited coming out ahead on this one, depending on how this chase goes. Krippa's trying to chase a player onto mid, and they ran away.
Yeah, fortunately, Perplexus was able to get there and just in the nick of time to help Okie Dokie get out alive, but it is going to be mid in favor of Great Players Reunited, and they are already up 2 rounds. The Ubers are about even, so there's not going to be any crazy, pushes shortly here unless some crazy picks happen. So for now, it's probably just going to stalemate out for a little bit. We got both the soldiers from the side of Green Goblin Gang on the choke with Zuri and Smitty Bug, although as I say that on the Big Door, but Smitty Bug takes the pipe, and that's going to allow, actually Twigs walks in with Kibo in through Baby Door, and they walk all the way in onto the demo. There's an aggressive Uber exchange going on. Perplexus gets his way into River. Krippa does bomb up there to try to do some damage. And now that the Ubers are over, Divvy does get a kill, but Okie Dokie gets caught in and dies. And that's going to be an awkward position now for Green Goblin Gang. Verplus's with the bomb, I think trying to salvage. And Divvy does get a kill onto the demo, but it's just not going to be enough as there's 2 scouts with the medic, and I don't think he's going to be able to get anything. Somehow Divvy is living for a long time, gets the kill onto Cupojo, and there's still 2 scouts and a demo behind on the side of, or not behind, excuse me. They're still alive on the side of Green Goblin Gang. They're able to get out. That looked a little bit sketchy there for a second, but it ended up not being too bad for them, as Great Players Reunited now have a 40% Uber ad because they killed Okie Dokie.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that as the pause comes in. I feel like Green Goblin Gang could have actually taken back second at the end of that fight. It seemed like they had a lot of player ad there, wasn't able to capitalize on that, and so now they're stuck on last against Disad, which is definitely not the situation they want to be in. But yeah, with what's happening here, it's just going to be, can the Uber ad hold? And we've seen pretty much every time there's been Uber ad for the side of Great Player United, they've taken the point. It's been a really close fight, but every time they've taken it. So we're going to have Zuri on NG. They've had an NG every time there's been an Uber disad for them, so they're going to have to pull something else out here if they want to take this one.
Yeah, and something interesting I'm actually seeing about this position is Okie Dokie maybe is a little bit aggressive, considering hopefully they realize in terms of the Uber percentage, but you are down about 30-40% Uber disad, so you want to make sure your med is safely tucked away in spawn, because you don't want to, you know, let your med get caught to an aggressive Uber, which might be the plan for Great Players Reunited. They don't have anybody into lobby yet, so, and they are finally just getting somebody into river, so they might have to worry about sticky traps, which Smitty doesn't have up, but they'll have to be careful about that if they want to work their way into lobby fast. But they still have some time where I think they'd still be able to get in and use pretty quickly off their 40% Uber ad.
Definitely, that is something to keep an eye on, as we are still paused. I'm just looking around at the cosmetics, seeing if there's anything catching my eye. Polar bear is always a good look. I've never, is that a new one? What do you call those things? The bagpipes on the demo. I feel like I've never seen that before.
I don't feel like that's new. I'm pretty sure I've seen that before, but it does look pretty nice along with the unusual effect.
I mean, if it came out in the last like 7 years, I feel like that's new for me, but you know, what can you do? Oh, they unpaused. That's amazing timing. And we're gonna have probably the Uber, if I had to guess, is just gonna go through Shutter. That's what we've seen basically every time. And there are some stickies in there that has killed many a team from invite to amateur, but those stickies get cleared. They haven't been dead yet, actually. Oh no, they have been dead. So those aren't a threat anymore, but we do actually have the River Uber finally coming out. They're switching it up. We do have the sentry gun down before the demo jumping in, putting stickies onto the right. That is Nash doing the locking down of the doors. 4-loop goes down. Everyone is trying to stand on point, but the Goblins are prepared for it, and they're defending the point really aggressively. This fight is going really close for both sides. It's going to be Demo holding it down, going down. That is, Zuri and Divvy held it for the Green Goblins.
Yeah, but Twigs, importantly, did manage to get himself out alive, and he's safely tucked away in choke. Divvy, I think, was considering chasing, but he's just going to get some time onto second. But I don't know if he'll be able to get the full cap off. Desync is already pressuring in through Big Door. He is already in, and here comes the scouts, and Divvy actually, I think, gets caught by himself, trying to get support from his teammates, as here they are, F-Loop and Zuri trying to get his teammates out, but Divvy goes down as well as F-Loop. That's 2 picks down on the side of Green Goblin Gang, and Great Players Reunited are probably going to try to push off that.
Yeah, and they are by just sending it in through main door. It looks like getting onto points, jumping their soldier forward onto Okie Dokie. Okie Dokie down to 53 health as the frag not really found before the point got count, but that doesn't really matter so much. That's where the pause happened. Remember, this was Green Goblin Gang's pick, I believe, and they're down 3-0. The Great Players have taken 3 rounds in 10 minutes here.
Yeah, it looks like it was a little bit of a PT issue for one of the players on the side of Green Goblin Gang, so hopefully there's nothing else going on there, but that was an interesting last. I'm surprised it didn't go better for the side of Green Goblin Gang, because all the players on Great Players Reunited were on the ground, but big double soldier bomb committing onto Med early. They get 2 kills, 3 kills already onto the side of Green Goblin Gang, and at least for Green Goblin Gang, they did get the cleanup onto, or the salvage onto the med, but it's a full wipe for them. Great Players Reunited with a very aggressive mid, and I don't think Green Goblin Gang were expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think they were, and it kind of shows that this team, even though they're winning, they're mixing things up. Great players, they're not just sticking to the same thing. Very versatile team. It would seem they're putting the second seed on notice that they've stepped up on Gullywash at least. We do have the point going down, so that's going to be second point capped. Basically a formality when the other side wipes on mid, but this time, bit of a different situation. We are going to see an Uber stalemate. I believe we saw this only on the first round, but it's finally a stalemate, not ad for the Great Players Reunited on this last.
Yeah, and again, we have two players, Desync and Glide, have worked their way into water. Fourthwall does know about them. It's not watching too carefully, but you do have to be very careful with how you have pressure. Right now, there's nobody looking at River, but nobody even pressuring River either, so we'll see how that comes into play. Zuri does lose his sentry gun, is trying to rebuild it already. F-Loop still knows about the players in River there. Here comes the aggression from Desync and Glide. Smitty does drop down to help, but here comes the Uber exchange. While that happens, they're able to get the kill onto Fourthwall for the side of Great Players Reunited. But Divi gets a kill, Zuri gets a kill, Smitty gets a kill, and Nash trying to go for the point is not able to get it, and it's just Twigs leaving. He is leaving through Big Door, but he probably is getting caught to F-Loop here. He did hit a nice surf. He might be able to get out, but he is like so low, 2 HP. He's somehow still alive, and he's actually going to get out through his own Big Door. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Forloop not able to find that frag is really unfortunate. Great survive by Twigs, going to allow the Ubers to be close to even, not quite. We're going to see how those Uber dynamics play out as this round progresses here. But that's the first time I feel like a Uber situation went really, really bad for Great Players Reunited on last. They really sent it for that point and got a bit punished for it. The Green Goblins have a chance here to get off their own second, take the aggression, and it looks like if they do anything, it will be in choke. They're sending Reflexes through drop down. Uber it's going to be sent through choke as the drop comes out. That's just the heartbreaker.
Yeah, just a trap that gets 2 kills instantly, getting the scout and the medic. That's absolutely huge. And then also Smitty Butt going down afterwards. Reflexes does get a kill onto Kibo, but he's just going to get traded out, and that's 4 down for the side of Green Goblin Gang, and they already have to leave to their own last. Full Uber ad for Great Players Reunited, and with no demo either, they can just walk through Shutter quickly, and they can already go in through main. They might be able to get a ton of damage onto Smitty Bug, and they get the kill onto the demo early. That is a huge kill there, and there's already tons of cap time going out here for the side of Great Players Reunited, but they may be overcommitted for the point again, a bit too much, and this time Green Goblin Gang were ready for it. They're able to keep fighting, and it's a 3 versus 2 now, and now it's just the medic versus, 3 players. He's just gonna use the suicide button to get out of there, make sure he's not, kill blind, just make sure he's not going to have that late spawn. And it is a held point for the side of Green Goblin Gang, although, Krippa is on Sniper, already trying to repick Big Door.
Yeah, they are peeking in through Big Door, like you said, or they actually didn't because they walked out of spawn, walked up top, and they're watching Big Door from the high ground. Very defensive angle. The scout has spotted him, but it's definitely been called, but it's still a menace even when you know the sniper's there because no one wants to pop Uber all the way around that corner, but the soldier did get on him. Maybe the call came out to send everyone else through as these soldiers come in. The Green Goblins have taken this point without Ubering against the sniper. That is pretty impressive. It is not so easy to make that happen with this 30% ad, and they're going to be continuing through Big Door. It looks like demo's close, as was their sniper. Trap did not find the drop this time as the scouts chases Krippa into Baby Door, takes him down. Glide takes down Zuri. Demo being chased. That's Nash goes down. There's cap on mid. It didn't get denied. I'm kind of surprised. I feel like they could have blocked mid there with that one soldier, but we do have the Uber surviving for last. That's probably the most important thing that has been retained here, as they're actually going to be blocking the point with the Uber as the action does not stop over here. Kibo takes it in, takes down Smitty Bud, tries to chase these players on top of point, is doing a lot of damage, but it's hard when the other team is getting tanked. Okie dokie taken down. The medic can't heal himself that much. Verplex goes down by Glide, and that's just going to be a GPR route, it seems like.
Yeah, it looked like Green Goblin Gang just forgot about the spawners. Zuri's gonna go down. It's just F-Loop in the drop down, maybe trying to go for a salvage. So many people on the point. He might get so much damage. He does get the kill off the Twigs. Almost gets another kill. Oh, could have been even worse there for the side of Great Players Reunited, but they're able to hold it for now. Kibo is going to go down to Perplexus. That's 2 kills, and that should be... Actually, Smitty gets a 3rd kill onto a scout. That should be a push here from the side of Green Goblin Gang. They do have to worry about these soldiers hiding. They already spot one. I don't know if they'll spot the other. Looks like they already are aware. Krippa eats a bike quickly. Decent goes down. Krippa very low. Is going to get cleaned up right at the last second. And let's say clean mid push there from Green Goblin Gang. But very back and forth here.
Yeah, it is very back and forth with these 2 players still down. I want to see Green Goblin Gang try to make something happen as they go through choke. They're going to probably take this point cleanly, but they are facing a little bit of resistance. We do have our soldier Roamer up in the river area. That's going to push everyone else back. Green Goblin Gang, they look like they want to go fast. They have about 20% Uber ad, which is barely enough to go off of, and at this point, I have to wonder if they know how small their ad is. The other medic is about to get Uber. Demo jumping over, doing a lot of damage to the demo in the heavy, but not able to find the frag as the counter Uber comes out by the great players. Divi goes down to this. Desync standing on point. I don't think there's a chance here that the point cap goes down now, and Krippa, 37 health, manages to live.
Yeah, Okie Dokie trying to work his way out through river, but the Great Players Reunited were a bit slow, so I think we'll get a spawner here in time. Krippa is trying to chase, and already is bombing in, but is not able to get in. Here does get a little bit of damage onto the medic, but Okie Dokie safely able to get the tucked away into spawn, and will be very healthy for holding on mid here. They are about 20 Uber disad, so they do have to be cautious of that. But they are at least able to keep Okie Dokie alive, which is huge for the side of Green Goblin Gang. But they are down 3, so they are going to have to start winning rounds. And if this pace keeps up, it'll just go to the continuous overtime. We only have 12 minutes left.
Yeah, only 12 minutes left. Like you said, 4 rounds. That's like, you have to play perfectly, and we do have everyone going in through drop down as Divi gets pwned by that play. Zuri going to be trying to make something happen, and Big Door takes down Glide, but with this, Okie Dokie somehow goes down as the Uber gets popped. I don't know if that was a drop, but I feel like it was, as we have Fourloop actually backcapping with a scout. So this aggressive play by the side of Great Players Reunited maybe not paying off as the scout runs behind. Will he be able to get the cap in time? Will Divi get this one as he shoots Desync down to 30 health? Gets taken down by Nash, though, as the backcap gets denied. Great Players, though, are not done with the fighting yet as Scout runs into 4 players. Divi not able to make that one happen. He goes down.
Yeah, I think that was at least a decent salvage for the side of Green Goblin Gang, considering they just got completely overwhelmed by that drop-down shove. But now it's going to be a quick recap here for the side of Great Players Reunited. They are holding people on last, just to be careful for the back-cap. Glide already was maybe looking for something, but decides against it, as it is now pretty even Ubers here. I don't think Great Players Reunited will try to push off of this, although they are already peeking through choke, and actually, I think it's smaller disad than these teams realize, because Green Goblin Gang just completely gave it up. Kibo gets a kill onto Fourthwall, who was going for a sack play, and Green Goblin Gang is about to have Uber, and here comes the aggressive push from the side of Great Players Reunited, but I don't think they realize that the other team now has Uber. Here comes the aggressive Uber from Great Players Reunited, and the counter news comes in quickly.
Yeah, this Uber is basically even for both sides, but Great Players Reunited made a lot of space here. Decent goes down, very Plex and Smitty Bug, Zuri as well, 3-4! Okie Dokie goes down. These players on Green Goblin Gang did not get the fight they wanted. They got absolutely demolished by these GPR players playing absolutely perfectly, it would seem. We're going to have Kibo finishing up the cap, as it looks like some of these players are going to want to go to last. We have Nash walking in, trying to trap the door, but there's a player hiding by the shutter. Fourloop takes down the medic as the cap goes down. One soldier on point. Apparently it's enough. That's going to be GPR going up 4-0. Oh, I thought it was already 4-0, actually. I misspoke earlier, but now it is 4-0.
Yeah, that was a really weird fight there, post-Uber fight there. Like, they had the better Uber, and I would have figured they'd try to use on their explosive to try to hold the door down, but then Green Goblin Gang, like, let them in, which can be okay, but then they also just weren't ready for the recollapse. They were just so distracted, and they keep going for the med after he uses Uber, so it's very awkward. Smitty Bug getting run at, quickly going down. Decent gets the kill into Okie Dokie. That's a huge huge mid advantage for the side of Great Players Reunited. Four Loop gets one kill onto Nash, and there was another kill onto Desync, who got the kill onto Okie Dokie, but huge mid win for Great Players Reunited. Still have 9 minutes left, but they are looking to close out map 1 pretty quickly here.
Yeah, they are looking out to close out the map. It would seem that 90% Uber is probably going to be enough to make it happen, but they're still going to have to play well. It's going to be default Uber for Twigs, and I think it's crits on Okie Dokie, but, you know, they're going to have to survive the first Uber to make that happen, and it looks like they're getting surprisingly close to that Uber. That crits might come out in the post. We're going to have the Uber, looks like it's rotating between Launchpad and Shutter, going to be one of these doors, or maybe main. They are taking their sweet time, though. Definitely risky. Maybe they're trying to take down the gun in advance of the Uber. It looks like that's exactly what they're doing. They're putting stickies onto this gun, thinking they have enough time to make it happen. And maybe they are right as they try to take it in through Shutter. Nash going to be walking onto the top right area, putting stickies onto the point, taking the gun down again as the cap time starts to happen. The crits is now going to come out, but there's already 3 down, and that crit's just not coming in fast enough.
Yeah, I think they keep on the side of Green Goblin Gang. It looks like they had an answer for that water aggressive water push, but then they could not handle it afterwards, and that led to, as soon as Great Players Reunited just got back into it, and they finally got some attacks on the last. I think Green Goblin Gang just forgot that Great Players Reunited is like always going super aggressive for this point, always sending like 2 players in water, and like there's definitely ways you can counter that, but you have to be very aware of that. You have to make sure you're watching those doors. You can't let them just get in for free unspotted, or else they'll get way too much cap time.
Yeah, Great Players Reunited, they had a plan, and it was to pressure points, and it just worked, and they kind of kept doing it on their last push, so that's just their round at that point. Maybe uh Green Goblins hadn't encountered that a lot, so they weren't sure how to deal with it or something. But now it's on Bagel. This is Great Player Reunited, the third seeds map pick, who just won Gullywash very convincingly. And I'm a little bit concerned for the Green Goblins, but I believe in them. They have it in them, so we'll have to see if they can take this one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Both of these teams were 6-2 in the regular season, and I'm trying to take a in terms of matchups in week 5. Green Goblin Gang beat Great Players Reunited 4-1 on Metalworks. And besides that, they haven't faced off the rest of the season. And in terms of Bagel matchups, both teams, it looks like, won their Bagel matches. So nothing huge to say there. Although, as I say that, Green Goblin Gang actually won their Bagel match against the first seed, who's in the other semifinals match. So you would again figure that maybe Green Goblin Gang might have an advantage. But based on what we saw from that first map, it looked like they're kind of out of it or something. Yeah, I'm taking a peek at the rest of these logs here, and I don't know if I see anything particular, although I do see, more med deaths for the red team, but they did lose 5-0, so that does make sense. Besides that, I don't really see too much notable. It was honestly just overall domination for the side of Great Players Reunited, and Green Goblin Gang. I think they want to take the initiative.
Yeah, I do agree with that. One thing I would say is, as would kind of be typical for a 5-0, the med deaths, Okie Dokie 9, Twigs 3, I think that just speaks to how much pressure the side of Goblin Gang was under the entire game. And another thing is the mid fights, 4 mid fights for the side of Great Players Reunited. I mean, it kind of just speaks for itself. This team was just winning kind of everywhere. They were just taking the mids, and that was kind of the main thing, I think, that just led to the Green Goblin Gang never feeling like they had a real chance in that game.
Yeah, I really don't. I don't know if they're. I mean, hopefully for their sake, they're talking about it because they were the second seed coming in, and they had beaten both of the other 2 teams. In terms of this team, it looks like the only teams they had lost to were another 6-2 team, Hardcore Heaven, which is in the other semifinals game, and they lost to the sixth seeded team as well earlier in the season. But they had beat both the first and third seeded teams, so Green Goblin Game were in a pretty good position to maybe, like still be favorites, but absolute domination for a 5-0 there from Great Players Reunited, and that was that was a quick map. Bagel probably won't be as quick because you do have Koth. It's just guaranteed, round timers. You can't just like mid to last on Koth, even if you have, the 3 minutes. We'll guaranteed at least have like 13, 14 minutes of gameplay no matter what, even if it's an absolute roll. But I don't think it'll be a roll. I'm hoping for Green Goblin Gang that they turn around their aggression. They have a lot more control, a lot more comfort on Bagel, even though it wasn't their map pick. I'm hoping for them that they can, just be a lot more comfortable and getting back into controlling the game for them so that they can, not lose this pace, or else this could be a quick series.
Yeah, it could be a quick series. Like you said, I think they're probably talking about it. Probably why they didn't insta ready up. They probably have a good plan for Bagel. I really like Bagel. I haven't seen too many lower division teams play on this map, but I imagine it's going to be aggressive or at least constant action, which is kind of, I know, the main thing for the viewers, for the spectator sport. And this map is great for it as the constant action is there, and I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, something on Bagel you usually want to keep track of, especially at this level, is how much can each of the soldiers have, how much pressure how much control of can they have on their own respective house. Normally, the pocket soldier watches their left house, and the roamer watches the right house. And how much control can they have of that house to not only use it to pressure the point and fight the point to help their team, but also to pressure the flank and pressure behind plays. And normally, if one team has a lot of control over the houses, that's kind of an indication that, especially at this level, that that team is going to win. So that's something you'll definitely want to keep an eye on. And I don't think necessarily like either the team's soldiers are like super like favored one way or the other. So I think it'll really come down to whichever team really just has better coordination and overall better decision making in terms of fighting in these houses for the soldiers.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Bagel is a pretty unique Koth map. There is a middle point that raises up in a little spire, and so there's kind of like two choke points around the point, and then there's two other choke points as well, which are the houses. So the fighting in this game is usually centered around the point, but there's a lot that happens in the houses, and teams that can really take advantage of that can easily get behind, and especially in lower divs, I feel like teams have a really hard time keeping track of people when they get behind. And so if one of these teams is able to just control a house and get behind, it's probably going to be, like M17 said, their chance of simply winning. And so that's one of the reasons this map is so fun to watch. It's a little bit harder to forward hold on this map than it is on a map like Product, but it still can be done. So if you just get like absolutely destroyed on a mid, you can see the other team go forward a bit and like hold beyond the point. And so there's just a lot that can happen on this map.
Interestingly, neither team is readied up, so it looks like both teams have a little bit of talking to do. I'd be surprised on the side of Great Players Reunited because they had such a dominant map one that I honestly maybe would have even ideally for them like to start up map two quickly. Maybe try to keep that momentum going, make sure that you don't want to let the other team regain their mental composure, but. Regardless, I think they still got to talk about stuff, so we'll
Well,
see
they
what
have.
happens. Although, yeah, as I say that, we are going live into round one of the second map, Bagel.
Who are you watching?
I think I'm gonna watch Krippa on this mid. I really think it's gonna. I think Krippa is on pocket soldier, but I don't know. I feel like Krippa's gonna do something aggressive. Actually, maybe not. For now, he's just playing kind of passive in the houses, which makes sense. Yet be careful, but for now, that's who I'm paying attention to because I have a feeling he's going to do something insane. I don't know. Maybe that's just my feeling.
Yeah, well, we do have point pressure early coming from, I believe, Kibo standing on that point. And Nash as well on the Spire, surfed up there. That's not where you want to be, unfortunately for him. Krippa does take down two. Combat going on. Krippa takes down another in the house. Everyone for the side of Green Goblins is getting destroyed. pummeled. I believe some house combat happened. Divvy does take down Glide as Okie Dokie and Divvy get the last ones alive versus 2 soldiers. 1 scout versus 2 soldiers is quite the decision, and Divvy unfortunately goes down, gets dropped by Okie Dokie. Okie Dokie trying to run away, manages to meet up with the team, but Twigs is going to have full ad here. So the Great Players reunited, have the point, have ad, they have everything.
Yeah, and that was it was a good flank shove from the side of Green Goblin Gang, but then Great Players Reunited just countered with their own flank shove, and the side of Green Goblin Gang were just not prepared for it. They lose 2 players instantly. Here comes the 4-man sack, and Green Goblin Gang are able to get a pick onto the demo and the force, which is going to be good for them, although Zuri might die late here. He is going to be able to get out, which is good for him, and his team is already all up, and that means a few seconds where the demo is not here, which means there should be a pretty easy breakthrough, as there's not really anybody watching this right side, and yep, here comes Green Goblin Gang. They just get completely through for free, and Great Players Reunited completely back it up. An aggressive soldier here, although Decent gets an early kill onto F-Loop already.
Yeah, with that frag, we're going to have Veribux and Zuri, I believe, on the left side. I thought they were going to run through the house, but Zuri is now fighting a scout who got through right house. Divvy takes down Nash. Smittybug takes down Kibo. That's 3 down on this Uber, which went absolutely phenomenally for the side of the Green Goblin Gang. They took down everyone behind, everyone in front. Absolute turn of fates, as you could say. Now they're going to have slight Uber ad. They have the forward hold going. This was their chance. It looks like they know how to do a forward hold. They're going to have their demo on the left, both soldiers on the right. Someone typing in chat, wrong config. I don't know how you can have the wrong config, but maybe they'll figure it out. And it looks like we are going to have an attempt to break the forward hold. We have Desync in the bottom right, and the rest of the side of Great Players Reunited on the upper portion. That's defended by 2 soldiers, and it looks like they're taking it very slow. They're not just sending players out, which is kind of surprising to me. They're not just sending the soldiers into the face. Crippa looks like he's going to want to go through the main door onto the demo as the other soldier goes through the other side, just jumping in on the medic. That's going to be Okie Dokie down, Smittybug down. This forward hold has been obliterated. Crippa goes down, but for 3 frags, I feel like that is more than worth it. Desync as well, falling, glide finding, 4 loop, and we do have the medic Twigs very safe here. Gold Uber ad again has been retained, just swinging back and forth, and now it's Great Players Reunited.
Yeah, that was such a blunder there from Green Goblin Gang. I don't know if they were just miscoordinated, because Verpluxus was getting ammo, and then nobody was watching, and Great Players Reunited just took that time when nobody was watching, and they just bombed through and quickly got the demo medikill. And I don't know if like the scout was paying attention, or they could have rotated their soldier over earlier, but just a bit of a miscoordination there. And now Zuri's going to go down early as well. This is definitely around favoring the side of Great Players Reunited. Green Goblin Gang, Green Goblin Gang is going to have to worry about this aggressive Uber, which is going to get the kill onto Okie Dokie. That's a big kill there for Great Players Reunited, and all we have to do now is back up and play their full minute time advantage, and they're able to get all 6 of their teammates out alive, and they're going to set up this forward hold. This is going to be really tough to break for the side of Green Goblin Gang.
Yeah, I agree with what you just said. It's going to be hard to break, but somehow Great Players Reunited broke it instantly. Maybe Green Goblin Gang can do the same. I'm on the 4-loop cam. I'm predicting a jump. It looks like they're preparing something as they are going in, but it's not 4-loop going first. He's going second through main, jumps over through stickies, does a bunch of damage onto the top left. Can the demo chase this one down? He does. Smittybug following that one up, and Twigs went down. Didn't quite see how. Oh, Smittybug found that one. So these forward holds, M17, I'm not liking them. I feel like these teams that try to forward hold are getting obliterated in this match. Demo's jumping in. It looks like there's a 4-man sack coming in. Okie Dokie down to 130. Very healthy still. Verplux found Glide. So this medic is going to survive that 4-man sack. Good job to Okie Dokie as the pause comes in for the first time this match.
Yeah, I think that might be the round ending and then a config thing. Them it's changing the config, but we'll see. But that was an interesting situation there. And yeah, I completely agree. Those forward holds are just like, it's not even like both teams are really having like crazy, like breaking out, like having a lot of success breaking out through the forward holds necessarily. It just feels like the holds are just so weak and so miscoordinated that both teams just easily find an opening every single time, and then they are instantly able to break through. I don't know if that's, you know, just something teams haven't practiced, but oftentimes you want to be coordinated enough on forward holds to know, you know, where the team is coming from or where the combo is coming from, be able to potentially rotate at least some of your spam over or do like a flank shove or something like that, because you want to try to keep up the pressure. Although this is a map where you can definitely, the forward hold can be broken, but it's not like it's that's not like it's a map like clear cut where it's really hard to forward hold. It is definitely reasonable to forward hold. So I'm surprised how easily these forward holds are being broken.
Yeah, like you said, I agree with pretty much all of that. And with this one, it's um gonna be a good chance to even out the times. Don't be fooled by the config. It is not even on the time. It's good time advantage for the great players reunited. But again, with the ad situation, Goblin Gang has their chance here. Goblin Gang, they've been definitely fighting hard this game. It doesn't feel like Gullywash where they're just getting destroyed. They've been going back and forth. It just seems like so far that the great players reunited has kind of been a little bit ahead.
Uh-oh, so we may have a production issue here. We will see. They might have, because of the config, they might have accidentally messed up the the production. We'll see if we even get the rest of this round. Hopefully we do, but it might not. We might just have to reset into the second round here shortly. And I don't know, but I am that first round was definitely favoring Great Players Reunited, but it could also just been a pause. You know, it's not necessarily that the round ended for Great Players Reunited. They did have about a 1 minute 20-second time advantage, so it was definitely in their favor. But you know, on Koth, like enough failed pushes can just mean that even if you have barely any time left on the clock, as long as you have a little bit of time and you don't have to worry about overtime, normally you can still win a Koth round if you are dominant enough.
Yeah, you always can. We're still. I think they might have messed up the config, but that's okay. That's just a learning experience. M17. Are you still in the round reset? Are you still
Oh,
doing the coaching? Do you recognize any of these players from that?
yeah, so Green Goblin Gang was a team drive team last season with some of their players, and Verpluxus was a team drive player a couple seasons ago as well. So most of the players on that team, at least, I recognize. And then on the side of Great Players Reunited, I think I recognize a couple of these players, but not really from any newbie mixes team drive or anything like that. But um, I know that at least some of the players on Great Players Reunited have been in the scene for a bit, so it's not like they're brand new. So it doesn't make sense that they're winning, I guess, in terms of experience, but I wouldn't. I guess I'm a little surprised based on the regular season, but looks like they came to play today.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be able to know who won probably from the logs if the logs are working. If we don't, it'll be a mystery until the config tells us what happened. But we do see that blue team won. I believe that was great players. That was great players. Yeah. Yeah, so we have great players reunited winning that first round as the config situation caused an unfortunate issue with production where we cannot see the rest of that right now. But maybe there was a fragvid moment they can post on their YouTube. That would be quite funny, wouldn't it? Barring that, we will be going again quite soon as these players get in here and are probably going to ready up very soon. And for those just joining, this is the second and third team of Amateur fighting it off in semi-finals. So it's great Green Goblin Gang versus Great Players Reunited. And the third seed actually won the first map on Gullywash 5-0, despite it not being their own map pick. So very exciting game and perhaps an upset here.
Yeah, I was curious. I'm taking a peek at the logs already for the other match. The other match, the winner of this match will go on to face the winner of Chewy versus, I believe, Hardcore Heaven is the other team. Yeah, Hardcore Heaven is the other team in the upper bracket finals. And already Chewy won that first map. And they're already 3-0 up in the second map. So I would assume that it's going to be whoever wins this map has to face Chewy in the grand finals. for amateur, or at least this series. But it is definitely not over, and we are going back live again. I don't know if the teams will count the 1-0 score. I'm pretty sure they will, so I'm going to assume it's 1-0 for now. But we're going into this second mid here.
Yeah, I'm watching Glide on this mid. Why not? I feel like I haven't been on this camp a whole lot, but I always see him in the scoreboard finding frags. Down to 50 health, catching some stray sticky spam early on, gets buffed back up, waiting for the point to open most likely, or trying to chase a house down. It's going to be the point going to be opening up in a couple of seconds as Glide runs into the right house here with the soldier partner, not able to find anything, but goes through the other door, doing some damage to the demo as the house control is definitively in control of Great Players Reunited, which is one of the most important things on taking the point, but it's actually going to be going 2 down as Desync and Krippa get destroyed. Forloop finding that frag onto Krippa, and that's going to be Green Goblin Gang taking a mid, finally establishing a forward hold. Maybe these forward holds will go better than the previous ones, which didn't not go very well.
Yeah, they really didn't. This time they have both the soldiers set up on the right side, one being more aggressive than the other, although Smitty is a little bit alone on this side. He does have his scout sort of there, and now they rotate the soldier over, so they are paying attention to where the enemy team is pressuring, and Verplex is trying to keep his wits about and make sure he can rotate the spam lord wherever it's needed, and so far it's done a pretty good job. Great Players Reunited have really struggled to get through. They do finally get through the door. They take a lot of damage doing so, although Krippa gets a nice rocket onto the scout, and Zuri is going to have to back up, and that gives a lot of space for the side of Great Players Reunited. Glide goes behind, Desync follows that up and gets a kill onto F-Loop, and now it's 1 down, and Great Players Reunited just retake the point off that, and Glide is still behind, he's trying to get that kill onto Zuri. Not able to get the kill, but with the player F-Loops respawning, it's going to be a fight here shortly.
And we do have Kibo starting it off by standing on the point and defending it, making Zuri run away. Kibo very aggressively is defending the Spire, has to jump away as the demo shows up and starts lobbing pipes over there. Don't want to be caught by one of those, but Twigs eats a pipe. Speaking of them, down to 60 health. Very dangerous position here as this medic has no health. Somehow no one for the side of Green Goblins managed to exploit it. We're going to have that natural healing happen as Forloop takes down Kibbo and Burryplex takes down Glide as the Ubers for both sides have gotten popped up, but no scouts for Great Players Reunited. It's very unfortunate as Divi takes down D6. Soldier jumping in. I believe that's Forloop doing a bunch of damage onto Twigs and Nash as they barely escape with their lives there.
Yeah, and we're already into, it's about an even situation here again, but it was a good retake there, and now there's already an attempted forward hold. Kibo does get the cleanup kill there, but that was Krippa with a nice shot, an air shot onto the soldier. Kibo also got the kill onto Forloop, and that's 2 down for the side of the Green Goblin Gang. They're going to have to back up quickly. Smittybug goes in a little bit by himself, though, and Zuri does go in as well, trying to get the kill onto the med, but a bit of a split-up sack there, and it's not going to get much, and because of those delayed deaths, those that might be a little bit awkward for the side of Green Goblin Gang, but it is even Ubers, so once they get their scout up, they should be trying to take some sort of Uber exchange, but they'll have to break through this forward hold first.
Yeah, they will, and it looks like the decision is going to be to go top left, as that's kind of where everyone's stacked. Soldiers getting jumped through. I believe that's Verryplex, who gets immediately stuffed and destroyed. Desync finds Divi on the other side, and so that's not the start of breaking this forward hold you want to see if you're a Green Goblin fan, but it is what you want to see if you're a fan of Great Players Reunited, as we're going to have Krippa remaining on the top right, ready to stop the door. We have all 6 normal classes up. Looks like the same strat might be coming out. Zuri buffed up on left. Everyone for the side of the Green Goblin Gang on left, besides a couple of their flank players, as they actually do rotate now from top left to flank as they send it in. Looks like they got through easily. The demo, Nash, was not able to stop this. We have even Ubers on point as everyone runs up. Double soldier bomb onto the side of Okidoki, manages to get that Uber force off as Krippa and Desync go down for the Uber force, and we have Glide coming in from the flank, taking down Smittybug as Glide 1v1s a soldier on the flank. Forloop finds that one, so that's going to be a 3-for-1 and an Uber, but we have soldier jumping in, able to force off that Uber, and this Verryplex soldier is going to be able to survive after getting the force, so that's going to be 3 down, and this medic is stuck on an island. Twigs is stuck in the open, trying to run away as the soldier has flanked, got him on the medic, not able to get him down, but scouts running in through the house. Divi finds Twigs with the pistol there.
Yeah, those spawners, it might have been a little bit awkward for the soldiers, but it was a nice play on the side of the Green Goblin Gang because with their heals, even though they're going to have to give up the point here shortly, their spawners are going to get up pretty quickly, and the players on Great Players Reunited are very low, so as long as they just take their time, they'll be able to heal up and quickly retake this point, and they'll have a nice big Uber ad. But hopefully for them, they can, you know, try to continue to extend that Uber ad because they're already down a minute on the timer here. Fourthwall puts an aggressive shove into that house, but is going to get reshoved and is going to get picked off, although he somehow gets the trade onto Desync. And here comes the scout trying to take the trade. Zuri does get 2 kills onto Krippa and Kibo. Huge play there, and he's still alive in that house. And there is an Uber force from the side of, the side of Green Goblin Gang trying to get the chase onto the medic, but Twigs is very safe and has a 60% Uber now. And it's only 10 seconds left or 8 seconds left for Green Goblin Gang, so maybe one more cap and this could be tough. And F goes down immediately. Glide's already in on the flank.
Yeah, Glide does go down. Kibo takes down Zuri as Divi tries to fight the point, but I mean, what can you do when you're down this many players? Glide goes down though, so now it's a much more even fight. Divi doing a lot of damage on the point, chasing it over on the left side, sees Stickies, doesn't run into those, takes down Nash, but the Uber came in and it's just not enough when the other team pops Uber on the point. That's 1-2-0 actually for Great Players Reunited. Hard fought both rounds, but again, we've yet to see the Green Goblins put a score on the board.
Yeah, they haven't won a single round so far. That's absolutely brutal. It's got to be crushing for your mental. I mean, at a certain point, I feel like you might just have to pause and try to say, okay, we need to get we need to refresh. We need to figure out what is going on. Why are we consistently, you know, getting destroyed by these? We're just not having, like, we're losing players too often. I feel like even when we're doing some good plays, we just can't deal with their aggression. As there's an aggressive shove this time from the flank on the side of Green Goblin Gang, but they don't really get anything, and Great Players Reunited quickly shove them back out and already start using that health advantage to bait the cap. And Okidoki actually goes down trying to get a little bit aggressive, and Nash just took so much space along with the rest of Great Players Reunited taking space on the house, and that gets the med kill, and now there's an all-in for Twigs, but everyone is going to get absolutely destroyed just a little bit late on that all-in, and Twigs is going to live, and that's a full team wipe for Green Goblin Gang, and Great Players United is in an absolutely great position in this round, and they're even aggressive in this lobby area.
Yeah, they're in an absolutely amazing position. I don't think anyone spotted this so far. I'm on the desync cam waiting for these players to come around the corner, and here it is, double soldier spam coming off. We have Demo instantly down. These Green Goblin players send 4-Loop in, but it's not enough. They just bought a bunch of time there. Soldier's trying to go behind, but 4-Loop goes down during that chaos. I believe Furryflux is behind, getting chased by Glide, trying to jump over onto the medic. That should probably be spotted, but he does get some damage off. Immediately goes down, though. 4-Loop tried to come in on the distraction, and this is just continuous bleed, but Furryflux finds the frag. That is something there. But again, if you just look at the point, like, what was the point of that play for the side of Great Players Reunited? It was to delay the point. It was to run down the clock, and that's exactly what they accomplished.
Yeah, they have a full minute time advantage now. There's a big shove from F-Loop, but he's not able to get any kills. And the other side, on the side of Great Players Reunited, is getting pressured now by Green Goblin Gang. They do get multiple kills there, at least for Green Goblin Gang's sake, and they have the soldier coming in from the backside, and he's going to create a little bit of pressure and cause the force, although they lose Divi in the Uber, and now they have to take the counter Uber without a scout, and they lost F-Loop right at the end too, so this is a really bad Uber, and they're staying a very long time. Okidoki barely able to get out. Smittybug might go down, is somehow going to live here at the last second with the bomb from Verflux saving him. It looks like Desync ran out of ammo. That's 2 players down now for the side of Great Players United, and actually Twigs is going to get caught here in this house. He's going to go down, and that's 3 down, and finally Green Goblin getting in a good position. Aggressive bomb from Nash, not able to get the kill onto the medic, but finally for Green Goblin Gang, they're in a good position this round, but they still have to be careful with Glide dancing around on this left side. Looks like he's just going to back up, but they're down a full 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes down, but you have the point, you have ad. That's all you need to take a round. All you need is the point. Ad is just a extra bonus. We don't have a forward hold coming out for the side of Green Goblin Gang. Actually, no, we do. Finally, I guess they wanted to wait for the Uber. Last time, I feel like Okidoki tried to forward hold without Uber and died, but this time he just gets forced. Desync and Krippa go down for it, though. It looks like a 4-man sack. Not the worst scenario to use Uber in. It's going to buy a bit of time. But again, Twigs is going to have Uber before their next push. So let's see how the Green Goblins play this one. They might try to have a little hider, try to force the Uber early, or they might play passively. Looks like they're going to be putting up some pressure. They don't want to just let the other team in for free. They're continuing their forward hold. Okie dokie, quite a bit forward here. Going to have to see how they play this one.
Divvy is going in for an aggressive flank. He's in onto Twigs and missing, but does get the force onto Twigs early. That is a big play there, and they just didn't have anybody clearing those doors out. Good recognition there. Krippa going in aggressive, trying to get a bomb, but everybody on Green Goblin Gang is pretty safe except for Divvy, who is still behind. Krippa is going to get aggressive, is going to get picked off. This is actually now a good position for Green Goblin Gang, but Divvy goes in a bit too early, gets picked off by himself. It is a 5 versus 5. Verplux is taking a bit of space in that left house to try to get something here, although Desync with some nice rockets delaying the enemy team there. Smitty does get a kill onto Glide, but at this point, Zuri gets a kill onto Desync. Now it's 2 kills for the side of Green Goblin Gang, but they delayed even more time, although this is definitely a lot more even for the side of Green Goblin Gang, and they do actually get forced trying to chase Twigs, but Twigs safely ducks away into spawn, and with these spawners, they're going to be pushing in with their 80% Uber out on the side of Great Players Reunited.
Yeah, they have managed to do that, like you said, and we're going to have the players pressuring bottom left, Scout shooting their pistol over. Not sure where the final break is going to happen, but it looks like it's going to be top left as the flank players that come in through right. Main door actually is the Uber door as Smitty gets caught. Okie dokie, probably going to be caught too as this Uber goes in. Good surf by Okie dokie, but gets air pipe. That's an air shot. Put in the frag vid. Nash taunting on that one. Wants to put that one in. We do have Four Loop still alive, but I don't think he is behind. Oh, he is behind actually. Maybe something could happen here.
The thing about being behind, though, is you have to time it. Last time, you remember, Divvy got caught and the scouts just chased him, took a 2v1. They do know he's in. He is trying to cause some distraction now, which hopefully for his team's sake will help. He's doing a bit of distraction. There is also a spy on Divvy trying to maybe get something, but that's already 3 down, including the spy. Overtime already, 4 down, and that's going to be a 3rd round in favor of Great Players Reunited, as we are now 1 round away from Great Players Reunited making it into Grand Finals. I believe there was a crit streak there. We might see crits again, because we saw crits at the end of the first map there, and yes, Okie dokie is back on crits, so we'll see if that changes anything, or at least just trying to change something up for the side of Green Goblin Gang, but, you know, because they are getting desperate, it's 1 round away from losing.
Yeah, they are on the critical Krieg. Maybe this is the impetus they need to win the round. There's a lot of good DM on Green Goblin Gang. Don't count them out. I'm on the Verpluxus cam. Maybe something can happen here. Divvy in right house, running it down, trying to get onto Krippa, 2 HP. Can he hit the last shot? He does, but he gets arrowed in time, so Divvy not able to find that frag, gets baited in and taken down. Krippa traded at least for that one, but we do have Nash going down to the Green Goblin demo. Smitty's Iron Bomber going across the point. Uber is up for critical Krieg. We have these players even frags actually player disad for the Green Goblin Gang as that player goes down. The crits hasn't been used yet, but I feel like this is a pretty good chance. It gets popped out. Can the demo find anything here? It looks like do find Twigs. Great job by Smitty Bug finding that frag. The crits is on the scout. Don't be fooled. The crits is very powerful on a scout, but it doesn't find anything. Okie dokie taken down by Kibo. 4 Loop jumping in, taking down Krippa, trying to take down. It looks like Glide. Maybe he can jump in. He's actually jumping back, going for the health pack, staying alive. So that's going to be not the greatest crits of all time, but it did get the medic, which is kind of all it needs.
Yeah, it was better than nothing, but I feel like if you were Green Goblin Gang there, you could have just backed up when you got the med kill and played it a lot safer, let your demo do some more charge sticking, because I think they just stayed too aggressive and let Great Players Reunited surround them from multiple different angles, which really made it hard for their scouts to hold on. They got distracted shooting 2 different things. 2 players on the side of Green Goblin Gang very low. 4 Loop already going to go down. Desync in through the house is going to trade with Verpluxus on this left side here. And that's 5 versus 4 in favor of Great Players Reunited. They retake the cap, and they have a 20-second time advantage. And this time, though, Okie dokie has crits again, and it's definitely before. Here comes that aggressive crit. Smitty gets 2 with the crits. 3, actually, with a nice pipe onto Nash. There is an aggressive shove from Kibo, who does get the kill into Divvy, but that might be what Green Goblin Gang needs.
Yeah, it might be exactly what they need. Like you said, we do have pretty much even Ubers as the point is getting held, but it is crit, so that'll happen again. That dynamic is still going to be playing out. Forloop is aggressive, spots that they're coming top right, jumps away immediately. Good for him, not overextending his welcome into the respawning players, as now the point fight is happening. The reunited players, players reunited, are capping the point. They just took it right under the nose. I'm surprised there wasn't more pressure there. That was a really easy cap for them. Green Goblins are trying to take it back. Desync is down. Veryflex found that frag in one of the houses, and so that's going to be a really good chance to cap when the other team is just down a player. Oh,
Here comes the aggressive crits, but they aren't able to get anything for now. They do get a kill onto Kibo, and they actually start using crits onto their Scout, but Nash and Triple are going to get a ton of damage. Nash eventually going to go down to Smitty and Twigs is going to maybe get out. He is going to be able to get out with the support of his team. Actually, it looks like they're still trying to fight, even with just 2 players, but they know Perplexus is low. Perplexus barely getting out alive with the escape plan. Desync very low, getting a nice bow from Twigs to save his teammate there. And that's going to be a recap and a full 80% Uber ad in favor of Great Players Reunited, and they have the point as well.
Yeah, they do have the point, and the medic has 65 HP on the side of Green Goblin Gang. That's okie dokie, almost down, as this Uber seems like it was a 3-man sack. Uber gets fragged. You know, the players who went for the 4s obviously get taken down, but actually Forloop got behind, found a frag. Don't be fooled, that's a very good frag because Forloop spawns really quickly. Godlight is going to be a bit delayed here. That's a good chance for the Green Goblin players to have player ad on this little push out. Let's see what they can make of it. Smitty cam. Crits coming through, not able to find anything. Soldier now has the crits, takes down Krippa. Really unfortunate there that it wasn't able to find anything. Now Glide is here. We have a Soldier jumping in. I believe that's Veryflex. Forloop actually, who gets taken down from behind. And we do have Soldier on the side of the point doing so much damage from the high ground, doing so much damage on the scouts, not able to find a frag. Desync does get taken down by Divvy. Green Goblin still fighting it out, trying to take down a scout who went into house is Smitty. Not able to land that final sticky though.
Yeah, now it's going to be, it is finally advantageous to fight. There's low players on the side of Great Players Reunited, which is going to lead to the aggression here. Forloop trying to get in, does catch out Nash, not able to get the kill onto Twigs, who is going to safely get out, although they are actually coming back in on the side of Great Players Reunited. They get the kill onto F-Loop. Perplexus going in aggressive, trying to get some sort of a pig. Actually does get the pig onto Twigs, and they do have the point, which is maybe good for them, although, excuse me, aggressive bomb here from Desync, not going to get the kill, and very low on the side of Okie Dokie, somehow lives, but does drop the crits, and that's going to be just an absolute cluster fight now. It's now Nash versus 2 scouts. He's going to go down, and finally the fight was won in favor of Green Goblin Gang. They have gotten a lot of time off this clock, but they are now down in Uber ad, and the other players are going to respawn first because right now Smittybug is still dead for a few seconds.
Yeah, he is, but we do have the point. Desync in the right house, gonna try to, actually didn't see the Soldier, somehow didn't notice at the last second. 87 health, almost got taken down there. Desync low HP in the house, needs to get an arrow, but Nash is down. That's the demo man for Great Players Reunited, as well as the Roamer, and I believe this Pocket Soldier who walked out of house is gonna be down as well, so that's 3 down. Not really what the Great Players Reunited wanted, but apparently they don't care because they're still fighting. Kibo doesn't care about being down too. He will fight on point. And it looks like we have a pause coming in at the last moment.
Mission ends in
Yeah, this round I think is a lot closer finally for Green Goblin Gang. Oh wait, it looks like it was just a quick pause. We're already going live again. Probably just a quick technical issue. Maybe somebody just rejoining a server quickly. Already Kibo trying to build up the Uber, trying to get it in time. It is going to be about even Ubers here, so we'll see how things go. Although Didi actually going down already, which is going to be a huge kill early. Desync very low. Here comes the aggressive crits. Forloop does get 1 kill onto Twigs early and gets another kill onto Kibo. Zuri gets 2 kills. That's a big crits there, and that's going to give Green Goblin Gang a really good chance to win this round.
Yeah, it looks like it guaranteed it. I mean, Twigs with his solemn bow, I'm not sure he can really make it in time, so that's going to be the first round of the series going the way of Green Goblin Gang. GGG taking their round there. They can pull it back. They've shown every round they have good DM. They have what it takes here.
Yeah, and so far, I'm actually taking a peek at the logs. It looks like Twigs had 2 drops already, so maybe they can start taking advantage of that and, you know, maybe getting some more med kills might be able to, you know, help your team win. But then again, Twigs has been pretty good at
keeping himself alive except when he drops. Nash taking an early pipe, although Nash gets a kill onto Okie Dokie. Big early kill there. Here comes the all-in from the side of Green Goblin Gang, but they're not really able to get much to it. Very low is going to live, and Divvy is just going to back out. And that's a big, decisive mid-win for Great Players Reunited.
Yeah, it's more than decisive. It is absolutely, I mean, yeah, it is decisive. But we're going to have the full Uber ad, like you said. We're going to have the forward hold again. And it looks like these players are just walking in through top right. Soldier in. It's going to be Desync going for air shots. The Uber Force does come out. No air shot is hit, unfortunately. Desync is chasing into left on the Soldier who got stuck in. Are they going to find the frag? It looks like that last rocket by Desync missed just by a tiny bit, allowing Forloop to escape with their life.
Yeah, Okie Dokie importantly still on crits. It is going to be not only there's a huge ad now, and that's going to be exacerbated by crits. And along with this demo, Nash still being dead, just respawning now, that should mean it's a pretty easy hold to break through, as this time Green Goblin Gang is ready to break through, although they take a lot of damage early from this Crippa Bomb. Oh my goodness, so much bomb, and so much damage, and he still is alive somehow. Divvy did get a kill on Fourthwall, and here comes the aggressive shove from the side of Green Goblin Gang. I don't know if they forgot that Crippa's behind. We'll see, as he is still in behind. He's going in now in on the medic, and he's going to get the drop of the Okie Dokie. Oh no, they forgot.
Yeah, that player behind, so unfortunate for them. Okie Dokie with that drop. Twigs now at 80%, can probably do whatever they want with the Uber. Veryflux, 33 health in the flank. Divvy takes down Glide. Veryflux gets the pack, jumping in, doing so much damage, staying alive somehow, so much time distracted. Divvy comes back in. Everyone, it looks like, is sacking. Nash goes down. That was a bit of a four-man sack decision, as Smitty is kind of on an island here. Desync trying to chase with the Market Gardener. I don't know what to make of that one, but we do have Smitty somehow staying alive in that situation.
I have no idea how he stayed alive there, considering he had his back to the enemies the entire time, and he was just able to live. He wasn't sticky jumping out. That was a little bit insane, as it is a big Uber ad for the side of Great Players Reunited, and there is a sniper here. Actually, there was just a quick sniper. Here's the four-person sack. They are going to get the force onto Twigs early, and that's going to mean that Zuri also got a kill onto Crippa, which means they are going to be able to push all of this. Although Okie Dokie is still on crits, I think it is going to be important to know if the side of Great Players Reunited are ready for this. They are still down Crippa, because Crippa got killed early. When you have point, you know, your spawn time is going to be longer. Desync with a huge kill onto Zuri already. Forloop does get that trade kill, but it is a 5-on-5 with Okie Dokie having crits here.
Yeah, we do have Okie Dokie on the crits, and the battalion's backup is actually on Veryflux. It looks like as the crits comes in, sees absolutely nothing as they try to chase onto the top right. Maybe they can catch the demo out, as actually Nash catches the medic out. Forloop chasing it down, takes down Nash and Crippa, but 2 frags for your medic. I don't know if that's really what they wanted. Twigs gonna have the Uber ad as they build very defensively in the back left area of their lobby. There looks like they're rotating onto lower right. They have their soldier here with their earbuds looking very stylish, going to be trying to walk in through this door that the demo Smitty keeps routinely trapping, but they do get through as Soldier bombs the door, takes Twigs down to 17 HP. The nerves to hold that Uber is absolutely immense. And it looks like Divvy got in on the medic, but gets taken down. How do you not pop Uber on 20 health when the scout's in your face? I will never understand that. But they do successfully manage to make it point without using the Uber charge. And now we have Divvy and Zuri down, so there's really no way to try to break this hold without your scouts.
I guess that explains why Twigs has the 2 drops as compared to the Okie Dokie drops on crits, just because he is just absolutely not respecting the enemy team getting in on him. There is still Fluxus in on the battalion's backup. Aggressive Uber from the side of Great Players Reunited. They get multiple kills. Smitty Bug did get a kill onto Crippa, which is going to help, but this is delaying so much time for the side of Great Players Reunited. Desync gets a kill onto Absolute. That's a huge kill there, and this is going to be very difficult for the side of Green Goblin Gang. They do still have crits, but Divvy goes down already. That's a big frag loss. Here comes the aggressive crit screen. Smitty Bug does get mashed, but nothing else as Okie Dokie goes down to the bomb, and now it's just 5 seconds left.
Just 5 seconds left, and we do have the fight going on point. Can Twigs and Krippa take this one, or is it going to be Divi and Forloop? We do have the ulti duo on point happening. Should have played more ulti duo to prepare for this one. We're going to have Zuri down to low HP, but manages to live that one out. Twigs down to 57, getting chased. Double air pipe, maybe no. It's just the single, the crater to finish it off. Double air shot, or not double air shot, wasn't meant to be, unfortunately, but we do have point finally for the Goblins. Furry Flux in house. Glide catches a pipe. But again, you look at the board and it's just all oppressing. It's Twigs uber percent. He feels like he always has ad. Going to be taking it in the lower house area as they chase down a couple of players. Smitty down. Looks like Krippa, low HP on point, wasn't able to chase a frag, but Nash came back in, saved him by taking down Very Flux. Kibo also chasing onto Zuri, finds that frag. Krippa onto Forloop. It's just one scout. It's Divi. He cannot hold it. That's going to be the Great Players Reunited taking it 4-1.
Yeah, it looked like Green Goblin Gang might have had a shot there of bringing it back, but that's a 4-1, very decisive victory for the side of Great Players Reunited. They are going to be going on to face Chewy in the Amateur Grand Finals. Not sure exactly when that match is going to be, but definitely a big win for the, I guess the seeded underdogs technically, but it definitely was second seed versus third seed, so anything could have happened.
Yeah, something I would point out about the seeding though is like there's like 4 teams that are 6-2, and the second and third team are also 6-2. So even though like the round win percent differential was pretty big, like they're all 6-2, so anything can happen with these teams.
Yeah, taking a peek at these second map logs here, it really just looks like I think it's just the soldiers um, on the side of Great Players Reunited had way too much control over the game and over the houses. It's like they had their number. They were constantly predicting and knew what the Green Goblin Gang soldiers were going to do, and constantly caught them off guard, and that was a really awkward, and I don't think Green Goblin Gang were really able to handle that.
Yeah, it does just seem basically unbeatable. Like you said, 400 damage on both soldiers is just it's so oppressive to play against. It feels like you're always at a disadvantage. You always don't have the health you need. And you look at everything else seems kind of even, like charges 13 to 11, mid fights 2-2, medic deaths, okie dokie. Okay, he had definitely showing the 4-1 there. But again, just that health disadvantage, something was obviously going wrong that let Desync and Krippa take over the game, or maybe they're just built different.
Yeah, maybe. And I took a look at the combined logs, and it really did look like because of that second map performance exactly, it was Kripa and Desync were definitely the ones stepping up for the side of Great Players Reunited. They had so much control in that match, and they were putting out so much damage and so much impact. You know, Desync doing 5,000 more damage than he took in on Soldier, and in semifinals is pretty good for his team, and that's going to help immensely. And that's going to be the semifinals match for AM. That's going to be us for tonight. We do have another match going on the first Fireside Cast, I believe. That is the newcomer grand finals. It is currently 1-0 on in terms of maps, and it's on the second map 1-1 in favor of No Win No Ways on Reckoner. We'll get you over to there in just a second. As do you have any shout outs?
Shout out to Fireside Cast for continuing to cover all divisions. We have, like you said, newcomer coverage. We have amateur coverage. So shout out to Fireside, its team UM17 and Resin for keeping up the coverage of these games.
Yeah, shout out to everyone viewing and everyone playing this season, and we will get you over there shortly. Thanks for watching, everyone.